Introducing the new Onga ginger, onion and garlic powder seasoning. Onga.
That's it. See, all the gathering dance galala, all the sweet on the cause casala. For the dance you don't need shakara. Oh, you whining your hips like a this, like a that, like a this, like a that. Put your hands to the front, and dash to the back. Skelewu, 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 skelewu. Okay, what is the plan? We are planning to love the demand. Say you want to dance, you won't call the money from a bank. Oh yeah, scatter the town. Now the dance money is for the town. When you see me around, the scatter is like a clown. Oh yeah, put your go. Oh yeah, so just the wall. Oh yeah, dance to the sound. Like a this, like a that. All the girls in the dance galala, all the smooth and the cause casala. For the dance you don't need shakara. Oh yeah, why they hear you like a this, like a that, like a this, like a that. Put your hands to the front and your bash to the side. Skelewu, 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 skelewu. Ile-Ife idire o. You walk on your go. Oh, I didn't go so no. Baby, dear.
Hello everyone, you are watching Ongacious, that culinary show with something in it for everyone. You're in for a swell time today. Stick with us. All this and so much more will be brought to you by Onga, Mama's helping hand.
A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes. Onga.
Welcome back. You are still watching Ongacious. On Ongacious, it's all about dance, music, health, and of course, food.
That's right, and not just food, but healthy nutrition. On Ongacious, we show you how to make some of the most delicious Ongacious indigenous meals from all over Nigeria. You name it, we got it on Ongacious.
It's that time on the show for Falake to take us on one of her fabulous fitness routines.
Yes, it was an interesting time out this time around. Was it fun? You be the judge.
was lovely leg work.
Thank you.
It looked complicated.
Yes, it is, but it's fun.
You were smiling throughout.
Yes, it was fun. I love dancing, especially salsa.
Well, take a dance class anytime you have the free time. You're watching Ongacious, and we will be back.
Introducing the new Onga ginger, onion and garlic powder seasoning. Now you can give your fish, chicken and beef the unique taste all in just one sachet. Onga. Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Welcome back to Ongacious. Our wellness focus for today is cutaneous adverse drug reactions. That is skin reactions to medications or drugs that we can take. And we have on the line Dr. Shakirat Gold Olufadi, who is a dermatologist, to speak with us about this condition. So what exactly are cutaneous adverse drug reactions?
Cutaneous adverse drug reaction is just a long name for unwanted and undesirable effects on the skin secondary to drug use that is not related to the pharmacologic property of that particular drug being used. And it has a wide spectrum. It can range from mild redness of the skin to formation of blisters and denudation of the skin, involvement of the mucosa of the mouth and upper respiratory tract. When you have less than 10% involvement of the skin with formation of blisters and ulceration of the skin and the mucosa, we refer to that as Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Closely related to that is toxic epidermal necrolysis, also called TENS, when you have greater than 30% of the skin involvement. Other types of cutaneous adverse drug reactions include fixed drug eruption, where you have one or several patches on the skin following the use of drug. DRESS, which refers to drug reaction with some systemic symptoms. And also something we call severe cutaneous adverse drug reaction at the end of the spectrum, which may be life-threatening.
Interesting. So are there particular drugs that cause these cutaneous adverse drug reactions?
There is no drug that cannot cause an adverse drug reaction. However, there are some particular drugs that are notorious for causing cutaneous adverse drug reaction. And it's important to note here that although these drugs may cause an adverse drug reaction, they are still very useful in the conditions that they are being used to manage. It's just that some people, because of one reason or the other, especially because of hypersensitivity, develop cutaneous adverse drug reactions to these drugs. Amongst these drugs, we have anti-malarials such as sulfur-based drugs, antibiotics, especially the penicillin-based compounds, painkillers, especially the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and will agree with me that almost everybody has used one painkiller one time or the other.
If it happens once before, can it happen
The
again?
most important thing when you have a cutaneous adverse drug reaction is to stop the implicated drug. We've had series of cases where a patient uses a drug, has an adverse drug reaction, and it even takes months or years before the patient is able to link that drug to the adverse drug reaction it's having. So he keeps using that particular drug and keeps coming down with the adverse drug reaction. So the most important thing is to stop the offending drug. And when you stop the offending drug, present to the hospital. Depending on the type of cutaneous adverse drug reaction the person has, we can decide to admit the patient in the hospital if it's serious enough for admission. And it's usually a multidisciplinary management. It involves the dermatologist, the ophthalmologist, the pediatrician if a child is involved, and the nurses, because nursing care is particularly important when you are managing cutaneous adverse drug reactions.
But how can they be prevented?
If a person has had a cutaneous adverse drug reaction to a particular drug, one of the things we tell the patient when the patient is discharged is to avoid that drug for life. So what I'm trying to say is that if you've had a cutaneous adverse drug reaction to a particular drug, you would likely have that same adverse drug reaction when you take that drug. So yes, it can recur. So when the patient is discharged from the hospital, a list is given to that patient of the drugs to avoid and to stay away from. And it is written boldly on the case note of that patient that he reacts to these drugs and should stay away from such implicated drugs.
Thank you so much for the insight. We're really grateful.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you once again.
Wow.
It's quite a problem. I mean, if you see a person who is reacting to, especially the sulfur-containing drugs, it can be quite scary. I mean, their skin literally peels off completely. Oh. Yes, and usually the first time it's maybe mild, and then when they're exposed the second time, it's sometimes life-threatening.
I was wondering, is there a certain drug that would treat a certain reaction from a certain drug, or is there just one drug to treat these reactions?
Like she said, the treatment is to stop the drug. There's nothing you're giving that's going to treat it per se. You stop the drug and give the body time to heal, the skin time to heal itself. And the skin usually does heal itself over time. And then you have to prevent from infections and other problems, and fine.
So the best cure for a reaction of that sort is to stay away from the drug and let your body heal itself.
Right. You know, when you take the drug, it causes that reaction any time you take it. So it's very important for you to know the drugs that you react to and stay away from them.
Thank you so much for that. It was insightful, is the word. Well, you heard her. If you're trying a new drug for the first time, watch out for reactions. Don't try to treat them yourselves. Take those reactions to the hospital. A doctor knows best. When we come back, it's Ongacious Family.
A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes.
Onga.
Welcome back. We have Prince Akamadu here to discuss how to protect yourself from fraud. Not just any fraud, account fraud. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So my question is, what is bank account fraud?
Bank account fraud basically refers to unauthorized transactions on your account in the bank.
By whom?
By third parties.
How can my bank account be compromised? How does it happen?
Bank account fraud happens in several ways. Basically, the security of the account is dual. The bank has its responsibilities, the customer itself has its responsibilities. And it could happen from several points. One, at the branch, when you go to do your transactions, we've seen severally, for those savings accounts booklets, we've seen severally when customers make mistakes on those forms, for instance, maybe date is wrong or something and they simply squeeze it, throw it there. Somebody could actually pick it. The account number is there, the account name is there, their signature is there. We've seen instances where for correct account customers too, where they place their checkbooks very carelessly. And maybe their signature is already on it. Somebody easily goes to number 89 or number 74, tears off one and just duplicates it. And you know what they do? They often go below the threshold of confirmation so that the bank is not going to call the customer to confirm this transaction. So 50, 70. So it's often advisable, as much as it's a transaction, you could tell your bank all transactions must be confirmed from me, irrespective of the amount. So if it happens and the bank carelessly goes ahead and pay and you didn't confirm, of course the bank is held liable for it. Another area we've seen where these compromises come is often from ATMs. ATMs, their security is there, but you see some people whose job are just going there and harvest details. It's a different ball, but Nigeria have put in a place so much that it shouldn't be happening. But you can see some people doing window, they just take your details and they can actually harvest here.
That's scary. So I was wondering, how can we as account holders prevent our accounts from being hacked?
One, don't do any of these things I've earlier talked about. Two will be protect your information, whether it is the account number, whether it's the account name, whether it's the PIN, they ought to be confidential. Don't go about giving your cards to some other person. Help me to go and withdraw money from that place.
What do you do when you discover that your account has been hacked into? What's the first thing to do?
First thing you have to do, obviously, is that get to the nearest branch one, ask them to hotlist the account and put the account on PND. PND means post no debit. No more debits on my account until I come again. By that time, you would have known where the issue is coming from. You will have regularized.
And those emails are so common. I mean, you get a lot of fraudulent emails these days from banks that your account has been debited for so amount when you know that you didn't make any such transaction.
It will continue to happen as much as possible, but what the industry will continue to do is to make sure that it's minimized and minimized and minimized. And then our judicial system should be able to help us so that there will be consequences for such people when they get caught. Not a day two, they are out on bail and doing the same thing again, and that's the end of that.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Prince, for wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you have it. Tips to safeguard your account from fraud. Do not give your PIN to anybody. Be careful where you go to withdraw money. You're still watching Ongacious. Stay safe. We will be back.
A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes.
Introducing the new Onga ginger, onion and garlic powder seasoning. Now you can give your fish, chicken and beef the unique taste all in just one sachet.
Onga. Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Welcome back. You are still watching Ongacious.
We have our guest cook already here, and her name is Bumi, right? Yeah. What are your full names?
Olubumi Sonny Olore.
Okay, Olubumi, it's nice to have you in the house. You're welcome.
Indeed. Thank you.
And what do you do?
I'm a travel agent.
Oh, nice.
Ticketing officer.
Ooh, so we can book tickets from you when you want to travel. Good. So what other interests do you have? What else do you like to do in your spare time?
I love listening to music, dancing, and meeting people.
Of having the largest palace in Africa. It is built on 9.5 acres of land, and there are over 100 courtyards in the palace. It is asserted that the largest of the courtyards is twice the size of an American football field.
Kabiyesi had to give part of the palace for the development of this government school and some other buildings you have along this side. Formerly, all these areas were of houses.
So impressive is the palace that the federal government has declared it a national monument.
Now this is the museum.
A museum which contains the terracotta sculptures and other artifacts adjoins the palace.
This is a very rich gallery. It's talking about early civilization. So let us know the way and how our forefathers have been living during Stone Age. And they were very, very creative. And they were educated. Only their education is not formal.
Owo is located 70 miles north of Benin and 100 miles east of Ife. Like other Yoruba tribes, Owo traces its origin to Ile-Ife. The town of Owo and its monarch have an interesting political history. It was at the Olowo's palace that the Action Group, a political party led by Obafemi Awolowo, was launched.
The Action Group, this is where that party was launched.
And the first executive governor of Ondo State, Adekunle Ajasin, was a native of Owo. One of the popular sayings in Owo is, Ishe loogun ishe. Work is the medicine for poverty, an indication of their characteristics as people who believe in handwork. Owo is an agricultural center. It cultivates and trades in crops like yams, cassava, maize, okra, pepper, cocoa, and cotton. Dance is embedded in the culture of the people. Ajabure is a dance performed for the deceased by his children and relatives. The popular Igogo festival, held annually, is another event which dance is an integral part of.
Igogo festival started with the 9th Oba Rinregeje, so that epidemics won't happen to the town.
That Owo as a tourist attraction site is not in doubt, with the enormous palace, the museum and the royal festival. But can it adequately cater for tourists? The answer is in the affirmative.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
What did it feel like seeing it there?
Well, it's okay. I can still see the rustiness, but it could be better. But the tradition still, still dear to our hearts anytime and again.
Yes, I am all for tradition and culture.
Yeah, good.
We have someone here today who is about to make a meal for us.
Okay.
From Owo.
Okay.
And I would like her to tell you what she's making for us today.
Okay.
So what are you making, Bumi?
I'm making ko owu soup.
Ko owu soup.
Yes, that's
Are
how
you
it's
familiar
called.
with that, Mr. Akin?
I know it's a native soup, but so let's see how it goes.
Okay, yes. Great. So we'll head out to the kitchen while we leave Mr. Akin with Umi to
We're
discuss.
going to be chatting up a storm while you're
Yes,
cooking
and I have
up
a
a
feeling
storm.
you're going to do a lot of dancing too.
No, well, maybe.
Maybe.
If time permits.
Oh,
All right, it's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Pleasure, man.
So Bumi and I will head out to the Ongacious kitchen.
Okay, madam. Okay.
While we
wait. Okay.
Yes.
Over.
Okay.
See you.
A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes.
Onga.
I have the ko owu seed here. Okay. That's the ko owu seed. Is that the cotton seed?
Yes, that's the cotton seed here.
Interesting.
It's been washed and boiled. Then I have my locust beans, my meat and pomo,
Famous pomo.
stockfish,
Okay.
Onions. Saint leaf, very important when
That's
making.
The efirin leaf?
Yes, efirin.
Okay.
Very, very important. Then my shrimps.
Okay.
Smoked shrimps.
Nice.
Then I also have the the blended shrimp.
Crayfish.
Crayfish, yes, to eat. Then
some dry pepper.
Some dry pepper. And my red oil, a little bit of red oil.
Great,
is
awesome.
needed.
So let's get to work. You have a lot of cotton seeds in Ugu. Is that why you make the cotton seed soup? Because I saw on the clip.
Right, the local tradition, apart from the egusi soup, you know, and it's not only owo. Those that you see people cook egusi,
Yes.
but this one is the local soup of owo.
Interesting. Okay.
It's very tasty.
So you direct, I help you?
Yes. What I'll need to do is first wash my meat.
Right.
Need a pot to boil it.
Pot?
Yes.
There you go.
It's pot.
I see you've already diced the efirin leaves.
Yes.
Okay. So we don't need that.
Washed the meat and the pomo.
Okay.
Then boil it for like 10 minutes.
Nice. And how are we going to process the cotton seeds?
Okay.
Is it boiled? Is it blended? Is it pulverized? What are we doing to it?
Now, after boiling the cotton, the seed itself, then you blend it.
Okay.
And sieve it.
Aha.
So it's the one.
So it's in like a liquid paste
Yes.
form.
The liquid paste form is what is needed.
Okay.
Then the shaft will be thrown away. It's not needed.
Okay. Great. Sounds very interesting. I'm sure a lot of people will be excited to learn how to make it. So, we'll get cooking. Umi, this is going to be interesting.
This is one I have never heard of. Literally never heard of. I mean, the first thing that would come to my mind if you say cotton is cloth.
Exactly. I didn't know that you could actually cook it as a soup.
That is why the Ongacious kitchen is the Ongacious kitchen.
Exactly. I don't think there's any other one like it.
So I'll let you guys sweat it out while I chat here.
Yes, we'll leave you to it.
So, Mr. Aking, I've been dying to know. Well, we have been dying to know.
Okay.
Tell us who Aking Adenugu
Yes, what to put it in.
I'm just a simple person. I catch my phone and I work very hard.
What is fun to you?
Fun to me, it's going out, eating out, you know, sharing time with my kids, and what's the name? Then fun to me, it's chess. You know, I'm into active games of, you know, chess playing. Then another fun to me is visiting exotic places all over the world.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
What's the most exotic place you've been to?
Monaco. You know, Monaco, there's a street in Monaco that has all white one-story building, about 200 units, and it's beside the sea. And there's a transition between your living room to the sea, you know, like a workstation, and the breeze, everything is white, you know, the building, the interior, the curtain, the bedsheet, the cooks, everything is just white. So sometimes when you wake up in the morning, the chirping of the birds and the swelling of the sea, you know, brings back, you know, memories and restores, you know, gives me the impetus to think deep about, you know, life. So most times, at least once in a year, I try to visit the place to get my groove back. Sometimes.
Get your groove back.
Yes,
I like that. So what was your childhood like?
Well, it was a bit challenging. My father, ironically, was one of the first Nigerians that, what's his name? My father went to UK in 1959, even before independence, and he was a successful accountant with one of the, what's his name, shipping company in those days, and the cocoa industry. So our early childhood, maybe, you know, he comes and goes, we see him as, you know, a foreigner, and he died
before I was 7 years old.
Oh no.
So, and that's the memory I have about him, and it was like that. It was rough. My mommy took over with 3 siblings, and she took care of us.
All boys?
No, a boy, 2 boys and a girl.
Since we're in the childhood zone right now, what is your favorite childhood memory?
I never really had challenges in my childhood because my mom was there to take care of my needs, and except that, you know, the bond of the father that left early was not really there. So my brother took up that responsibility. So I saw him as a role model. I learned how to wear my wristwatch, dress well for my brother rather than for my dad. That was just
impressive. Were you ambitious growing up?
Of course, now. I had a situation where maybe we offend, me and my brother, and he tell us to kneel down. My brother will oblige. But me, at the stage, I'll tell my mom my hand is paining me. And sincerely, my hand is paining me too. So I just said I have to put my hands, and she will scream and everything. So she knew from day one that, you know, this energy is in this guy. And that energy drove me to drawings, organizing little things, you know, buying and selling. I was, you know, it was in me. I was never going to work in an office from day one.
Talking about strategy, how did you fall into advertising? Was it conscious? Was it accidental?
Well, I would say my elder brother pioneered a type of electronic billboards in this country. That's Benjamin Black. Okay. And I was working with him after serving. And I learned a lot from him, you know, in terms of administrative, you know, management of advertising. And along the line, you know, the vibrancy in me will not let me stop at the status quo. I always wanted to exploit and see, is there any new thing we can do? You know, when you identify a vacuum. So it's on that basis I initiated my own business called Advantage. That's my company's name, Advertisement ANG. And I said, okay, I'm going to do something different from what everybody was doing. So the first thing I did was to pioneer the use of, you know, reflective prints. You know, most of the billboards you see in the country, when there's no light, it's dark. And it's not everywhere you can connect electricity to. So we started printing materials that could reflect at night. So it became the vogue. We initiated the street lamppost advertising. Most people don't know, you just see them now. We are one of the pioneers that did it on Bank Anthony. You know, then we started printing, you know, a different kind of printing, you know, to compete with the cartel. You know, we had a cartel in printing that time. So then we now brought in the mobile LED truck, and most of you have seen it around. All those trucks that has screen at the back. So we brought it into the country, and you know, it has changed the whole scope.
Marvelously so. I'm going to pause us for a minute.
Okay.
We're going to go on a break, and when we come back, we're jumping right into the kitchen. You're watching Ongacious.
A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes.
Onga.
Welcome back. We are in the Ongacious kitchen making a delicious meal of ko owu soup. And Bumi has been very busy right here trying to prepare everything. I think we did some blending and sieving. Can you explain what we did?
After the boiled ko owu seed, after blending, then this is what I get from the blended seed.
Okay, that seed, we blended it and sieved it.
Sieve it. After blending and sieve it, this is what you will get from it. So this is what we are cooking.
Nice. So that's the ko owu itself.
Yes. That is the real deal.
And I see our meat is nice and seasoned, smelling delicious. Wow, it smells lovely.
So the meat is boiled now. So I'll turn it to another bowl.
Okay. Do I switch it off?
Yes.
Okay. I can use this, no?
No. Taking what?
Okay.
Let me pour it in.
And we're about to make the kowu itself now. So what are the nutritional benefits of this cotton seed or kowu?
Oh, very, very much.
Really?
Like the efirin now. Efirin is very, very medicinal.
Yes, I know a lot of people use
efirin.
For cold, common cold. It's an immune booster.
Yes, if you have a running stomach, you take efirin with a little bit of salt, then you're okay. The seed itself, very, very medicinal and nutritional. Now, what you're seeing here, it has a lot of folic acid. It is proteinous. You get a lot of vitamin E from kowu seed.
That's nice.
So you're eating a very healthy and nutritious meal.
Wow, that's
when
great.
You have your kowu soup.
Awesome. So what are we doing now?
So this will go in first.
Okay. Do I put the heat back on?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I'll add my red oil, a little bit of red oil.
Not too much oil.
Not too much.
Good. Need a spoon?
Yes, thank you. A little bit of red oil. It's okay.
Great.
My dry pepper.
And we picked out the small shrimps.
Can I turn this?
Okay, you need that?
Yes. Okay. I'll need to put the dry pepper in the water.
Oh, okay.
Just to make it a liquid form before turning it into the kowu.
We need some water?
Yes.
And the smoked fish?
Yes. The locust base is the next.
Okay. Nice. I'm still amazed at the fact that cotton seed is actually edible. I know about the oil and then cotton that we wear, but eating it, this will be the first time I'm hearing about it. And that's really nice. Anyway,
that is why you see people from
Did you just say you're coming back to me? I was lost in that pot of people.
It's going really well. So I'm just watching with amazement.
I'm adding my locust beans now.
Okay. That cotton seed is an edible soup. I'm still amazed.
I'm very, very curious.
Then the onions.
Okay, so while you're doing that and sweating out in the kitchen, I'm going to take it away again.
All right.
So, after watching that video earlier on, I wanted to ask, what can you tell me about owo?
Well, for most people, they don't really know how important owo is to the Yoruba land. You know, hitherto we used to have kingdoms, you know. There's Ife kingdom, Owo was a kingdom too, and Benin was a kingdom. And the tradition, because of the location, it's between, you see Ife, you see Benin.
Yes.
It's the furthest Yoruba town to Benin City. So if you see the traditional way they dance, it's almost similar to the Benin. I call them a mixture of Benin and Yoruba. That's the Owo tradition. It's a very strong community, and education is key to their lifestyle. Even though they have strong traditions of, you know, sculptures of the old, ancient buildings. You know, like I told you, was like what the kingdom was initially, where they had rulers and they had to pay homage. They were into big time festivals, which till now is still existing. But in the modern day era, education became a key issue for the people of Owo. And that was, you know, more pronounced with the late Olatero Olagbegi, who had over 120 kids. And most of them did their primary school in the palace. And the Olata Olagbegis, they've excelled in sport, they represented Nigeria in lawn tennis. So what the man taught them is lawn tennis and education. Then talk about royalness and the candor and aesthetics. It was only on Ile-Ife and Olowo of Owo that had Rolls Royce. That Rolls Royce you have seen at that time, as early back as 1940 something. So you can imagine the king that drives Rolls Royce between the 1940s and 50s. You know the wealth, you know, the kind of kingdom he operates on. Then on the political front, it's a very, very dicey issue. The king, they're always independent of what the state does. So most times maybe they are in PDP or NMPC, the state might be in Awolowo camp. That has always been the tradition, you know. So they are political, they are educated, highly educated, and they are fashionable. As you can see, my Gucci, Dubani, and Elabi. Clap for me now. So they're fashionable, they are not too loud in terms of, you know, too much drama and everything. But Owo is a town that, you know, it's evolving. And I would hope that in the nearest future, a lot of new developments can come up in the place to make it, you know, bigger than what it is. That's what that's about Owo.
Only hope. Thank you for that, sir.
Okay.
There you have it. Owo. 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 Education, fashion, culture, music. And when we come back after this break on Ongacious, food. See you soon.
Introducing the new Onga ginger, onion and garlic powder seasoning. Now you can give your fish, chicken and beef the unique taste all in just one sachet.
Onga. Onga, Mama's helping hand. A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes.
Onga.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Ongacious.
Vegetable.
I want to ask a question. Are you a musical person?
Yes, music calms me down. You know, I love music generally, and I listen to good music, not just junk music.
I have an overqualified band behind me there.
Why not? They're good.
Please, what would you like to listen to?
Oh, any general danceable gospel music would be okay.
Spice Band.
Kò sí bàbá bí rẹ̀, kò má sọ̀rọ̀ bí rẹ̀. Igwe. Kò sábà bí rẹ̀, kò sí bàbá bí rẹ̀, kò má sọ̀rọ̀ bí rẹ̀. Igwe. Ẹ má bí bọ́lọ́run tóbi. Ọba ńlá ọba tó ga. Ẹ má bí My God is a good God. He lifts me up. He lifts me up. He turns me around. He placed my feet up on the solid rock. You feel like dancing. Shake your body. You feel like dancing. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 years of
A little helping hand will go a long way to get your meals tasting really delicious. So season your cooking with Onga for that delicious taste and irresistible aroma that will get your loved ones looking forward to mealtimes. Onga.
It's still your show, Ongacious, and we're preparing a delicious Ongacious meal of ko-owu soup. And our soup is almost done, isn't it, Bumi?
Yes, almost done.
So what's left to do?
I'm going to add my Onga cubes.
Yay! For that extra flavor.
Yes.
Great.
Very much needed.
The Onga cubes and the leaf.
Then the last one is the ephedrine leaf that I'm going to add to it.
Okay. Oh, that smells wonderful. Dry pepper and red oil.
And red oil. So I'm adding my ephedrine now.
Ooh, that smells so nice.
And tastes delicious.
And tastes delicious.
Yes.
What are we having it with?
The best way you can enjoy your ko-owu soup is to have it with pounded yam.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I'll just leave it for 2 minutes to steam.
And then that's the end. And it's ready.
My ko-owu soup is ready.
Woohoo! Awesome. Umi, the soup is ready.
I heard her say pounded yam.
Yes.
Yes.
Was I hearing double?
No,
pounded yam.
Pounded yam.
Somebody is happy here.
Me too.
So while you guys are finishing up,
I hope you're looking forward to eating it. Great.
So while you guys are finishing up, I wanted to ask you, is there anything new that you're coming up with?
Well, the industry is evolving. We have not even touched 1% of what entails outside the country in terms of advertising.
Indeed.
What we see is more of the physical structure and everything, but the core of the advertising business is in the IT version of it, and that's called digital signage. I went to a conference in New York some time ago, and I discovered that only few countries in Africa are even into digital signage. Digital signage allows any normal television to transmit, things, live events. It allows you to relay social media feeds. For instance, now there are about 1 billion contents on the internet, and what you do is just you look at it on your phone. But on these 2 screens, with just the simple technology, you can transmit even your tweets. So let's give, for instance, maybe Onga is doing a road show or activation, and you want people to react. So what you do is you just say maybe hashtag my Onga, or Andres Onga or something. So as you tweet, it should be relaying on the screens all over the country without leaving your location. So the new technology, we got the license for it. It's evolving.
Now, what is the benefit of this new, I want to say fangled, though.
Okay.
Fangled technology you're bringing in from advertising to the layman?
No, well, basically, for instance, that most times when clients gives you material, material means they want you to play their video, and they want it in Kaduna, Sokoto. Somebody has to travel to Sokoto to upload, or go to Bauchi. But from your office, you can transmit that advert, just send it online, and it will be showing there directly.
So this new idea you're bringing home is mainly for the corporate world?
No, for the individuals. No, not for the corporate world.
Business,
the government. Business. Okay, we are trying to do something in Abuja now. Let me just let out the body bag. It's going to be like an amber system. We are going to install mini screens like this.
Okay.
You know, in some locations. So if there's a security brief, traffic, the government wants to send greetings. Okay, there's a weather report, there's a news flash. So your car has been stolen, you report, and you just see 200 screens showing the person that stole the car. You know, these things are evolving, and with time, when state governments realize it, how many times do you spend at home? 80% of our time is spent outdoor.
Outdoors, yes.
Outdoor. So, and we see most of the billboards particularly. So, if there's an information that you see regularly, just like the olden days, roundabout village square, where you go and read notice board, it's coming to that level. Look, Ebola crisis, health issues, vaccinate your kids. So, you're passing that route every day, and you see that screen, and it's controlled almost instantly. So, it's going to evolve. And the government is trying to buy into it, private sector is trying to buy into it, and the public will soon start seeing them on the streets gradually.
I, for one, am thoroughly impressed, Mr. Akin-Adeleko.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
You're still watching Ongacious, and we will be back. Welcome back. You're still watching Ongacious. The table is set, the food is here, and we are about to dig in thanks to Onga, Mama's helping hand. Bumi, please do the honors.
Thank you. Wow, this really looks good.
Oh, smells good too.
Perfect gentleman. Thank you.
Say that again.
Like, the good thing about this cold soup is that even though you don't have enough, don't say because it's being prepared in your present with beef, stockfish and all that. You can prepare it with whatever you have, like if it is crayfish and smoked banla. Just make sure you have efirin there with onga cubes. It's going to be really ongacious.
It looks like you cooked egusi soup.
Yes, it looks similar to that. But
yes, but not egusi. This is cold.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it something commonly eaten in?
Yes, this is a local soup.
In Owo?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a local soup in Owo, aside from the egusi soup and all that. So when you want to talk of Owo soup, locally made soup, it's cold soup.
Interesting.
Nice.
Please, sir, let's dig in.
Highly nutritional.
Thank you very much. Okay, you people start. I'm okay. You have to take this off. Don't mind?
No,
you have to take it off in the set.
Can I set the water?
So please, wash your hand. Are you using your hand?
My fork, sir.
You're using your fork?
Yes.
Okay. Madam.
Wash your hand.
No, please, I insist.
I usually wait for my celebrity guests to have a taste
first
before I dare.
Okay. Bless this food, oh Lord, for Christ's sake.
Amen.
Okay, here we go.
Ms. Bumi, please.
Okay.
Lovely. It has a tingy feeling, and cassava, a lot of other beautiful things.
Okay.
Which I think was brought to the limelight because of the onga.
Obviously, sir.
So it's lovely. I think I recommend it to Madame Atom.
You're handing recipes out before you go.
Thank you.
Like some water?
That's
Thank you, sir.
Okay, yes, okay. Most instances, many people don't believe Yoruba has a lot of soup. Yes. And what Onga is doing is to bring the traditional, you know, all these forgotten soup, bring it into the York. Yes. So that, you know, the cosmopolitan people in the city will know that it's beyond egusi and ewedu.
I appreciate that you're saying that right now.
And that's courtesy of Oga, I think.
Yes. They're doing a wonderful job. Beautiful idea. Okay, before I stuff my mouth with food again, that's it from us on Ongacious. Thank you so much, sir, for sitting with us and telling us about your hometown. It was very, very educational. Bumi, thank you so much for this soup.
You're welcome.
As you can see, our celebrity guest,
I'm busy eating.
He's busy eating, but he gave you props and he wants the recipe for his madam.
No problem.
Don't forget.
Definitely give that.
Falake, as always, it's been a pleasure. You know what this show is all about. So join us same time next week on Ongacious. Good night.